Hello everyone, welcome. My name is MJ Pestridge. Welcome to another P3D video, and today we're going to be talking about P3D version 6. Now, there is no official word from Lockheed Martin about P3D version 6. You speak to anybody on the developing team for Prepared and nobody is saying anything. And it is in development, but anything I say will just be seen as speculation or rumor until an official announcement has been made. So at the end of this video, I will pass on what I've been told. But until then, what we can do is we can go back into the past and discuss what has already been said about Prepared version 6. And I found a couple of conversations online, one in the FLIGHTSIM forums, another on the A2A forums, where they've been talking about Prepared version 6, and the conversation that I'll be sort of relaying here is from December 2020. So this is the same year P3D version 5 came out, and I think it was like in April it came out in 2020, and then in August Microsoft had come out, so there was already a buzz about this. So P3D version 6, December 2020, in the FLIGHTSIM forums, people were saying, what is a good idea for the next version of Prepared? And basically what the consensus conversation of about 7 pages is that they want Lockheed Martin to develop a scenery engine that uses Google Maps terrain instead of land class and texture tiles, BGLs, things, stuff like that. Develop a technique to generate appropriate 3D objects and place them based on imagery analysis, basically like Azure AI from Microsoft. Don't waste time with resources trying to dazzle users with super duper photogrammetry. Focus on accurate terrain and 3D objects. And basically, you're Lockheed Martin. So, Microsoft is a business, business that is in it for profit. And so the resources they have at hand is quite limited compared to, let's just actually read out what Lockheed Martin is. Lockheed Martin is a global security and aerospace company that employs approximately 97,000 people worldwide and is principally engaged in the research, design, development, manufacture, integration, and sustainment of advanced technology systems, products, and services. So, if anything, Lockheed Martin should be doing it better than what is available. So, a business of Microsoft with a limited budget, has sort of, I would say, maybe limited resources compared to a company which I'm sure probably has more than 97,000. It's probably more like over 100,000 people worldwide, and who are basically backed by the US government as a military contractor. So effectively there's a almost a degree of pressure, but an expectation that P3D, Lockheed Martin, should be doing it better. So looking at so basically the community is looking for, pretty much what Microsoft is, but better, which is kind of close to what the talks have been. Now, looking over on the A2A forums, there's also a talk of using Google Maps, mixing it with Active Sky, to have real live weather built in, which, to be honest, has never been a thing in Prepared. It's never had a real live weather program built in. It's always you add that as part of a community add-on. FSX used to have a real live weather engine, but P3D has sadly never had that. So there's a lot of talk and rumor of having an integrated weather system that is live weather integrated in, as well as using, say, Google Maps, which obviously Microsoft have the Bing Maps because Microsoft owns the Bing satellite data, and so it's easy to incorporate that into their sim. But Google, who owns their own set, hasn't locked forces with anybody. In fact, Lockheed Martin hasn't even, as far as I'm aware, locked forces with Google to acquire their data. Why is that? Well, Lockheed Martin has been, since 2019, launching nano satellites. Basically, they've had, I think, the first 50 launched in 2019, and about 250 have gone up into space, and basically they've been mapping the Earth themselves. So they have these amazing satellites, which are basically the size of a person, really small, nano satellites, I think they're called. Tiny satellites, but with big missions. And their data available in the sim, their data available to them is so much more high quality than anything available already on the market. So in terms of Google Maps or Bing Maps, they're kind of tied to the data that they have access to, or that the data that has been acquired for them. Lockheed Martin has been getting their own data, which does not include cloud, obscured things. It is basically about 5 times better than what the Microsoft Sim has access to. Here is a fact. The data bank that Microsoft base their simulator off is a server with 2 petabytes, which is 2,000 gig, okay, of data. So they have a server, probably several of them, hosted around the world, with the entire world put onto this hard drive in the satellite data form, and it's 2,000 gig in size. That's quite a lot, 2,000 gig. I mean, I have a 2,000 megabyte drive, which is a 2 terabyte. They have a 2,000 gig, which is 2 petabytes. Lockheed Martin has a 100 petabyte drive with their satellite data on. Okay, so that's the difference in quality, or the difference in the size of the data that they have access to. 200 petabyte. It states that Lockheed Martin is committed to making SmartSat-enabled satellites the standard within the next decade. We're engaged in a multi-year research and development effort that will see its first results in 2019 with the production and launch of 5 LM50 nanosats equipped with SmartSat capabilities. Now, these satellites have the ability to go into lower Earth orbit in order to take the photographs needed for what they're wanting to. Now, they also have like hundreds of these satellites launched, in space. Now, it's these satellites that are basically going to be responsible for collecting the data that they need for their whatever they want to use it for at the end of the day. So another thing Lockheed Martin have been developing, and again this goes back to like 2019, is AI modeling satellite imagery. So basically Airbus launched a new geospatial tool which would make planet-wide change detection possible in near real time. And now Lockheed Martin has announced a satellite imagery recognition system which uses open source deep learning libraries to identify and classify large data sets quickly. The model uses Maxar's geospatial big data platform to access the 100 petabyte treasure trove of satellite imagery library and millions of curated data labels. The cloud-based system promises to save imagery analysis the trouble of spending countless hours manually categorizing and labeling items with an image. Basically, this 100 petabyte drive of information is going to be the foundation for P3D version 6. Now, it wouldn't surprise me that P3D version 6 becomes a new enterprise subscription model where you pay monthly or you pay annually to access all this data that you can have streamed into your sim. In fact, on their website already, in the advanced tutorial, they already show you how you can actually stream live satellite into P3D version 5. Literally a step-by-step on how to do it. Now, this isn't live streaming. This doesn't show you how to stream on the fly. it just shows you how to procedurally generate using OpenStreetMap data, using satellite data, on how you can basically create your own photo reel. It's something that I've been doing for a couple of years now, using the old FS Earth Tiles program, and I've created some beautifully wonderful landscapes for my P3D. It just takes a lot of disk space in order to do it, so it's not feasible for everybody. But this basically is a quick and dirty way on how to get the world, you know, into your sim. So this is basically the older way of doing what P3D version 6 will do, which is you will be using this on the fly now. You'll be much like Microsoft, but with much higher quality terrain coming in. Another thing that they'll be doing is completely rebuilding everything from the ground up. So it doesn't use the old FSX API engine anymore. It's a completely different, probably more DirectX 12 Vulkan orientated, because they have really deep dived in DirectX 12 in P3D version 5. In fact, that was the biggest come away from P3D version 4 that used DirectX 11. DirectX 12 has given P3D, I think, significant jumps forward, and if it weren't for Microsoft, P3D version 5 would have been the #1 sim to go to for the main market. But Microsoft came out and they had leapt forward even further. Now, they have also brought in on the market millions of new community members who have enjoyed and found, you know, flight simulation or aviation, a love of it for the first time. And even though they've wanted more and they've wanted to move on to a more in-depth simulator like Prepared, nonetheless, the community has tripled, I would say more than tripled, in the recent 2 years. It is a shame a lot of developers have jumped from one platform and abandoned others to follow money, but at the end of the day, their businesses, they have to survive. I get that. But I wonder how many will be welcomed back in the future when P3D version 6 comes out, and now it being like a latest and greatest flight simulator. I wonder how many of those the developers will suddenly be welcomed back into their community with open arms by those that have abandoned them. But anyway, back on P3D version 6, everything basically being developed from the ground up, with all new assets, new ways of building planes, making add-ons, which, you know, I'm pretty sure Lockheed Martin still want the developer community involved in sort of helping create, and not having just everything streamed in under the hood ready to go. Although saying that would be pretty sweet, where you don't have to put in add-ons. But I believe a good flight simulator community requires add-ons for it to survive. But either way, I mean, this ain't going to be ready anytime soon. We're not talking like next year and suddenly it's out. I imagine, we're in 2022 right now. I imagine by 2024, we will have heard an announcement at least. But I imagine, because Lockheed Martin don't announce things, they just release it. So I imagine in about 2025 is when we will get Prepared version 6 in our hands, you know, it coming 5 years after version 5 was released. That is my sort of guesstimate. But what are your thoughts? What are your comments down below in the comments section? Is P3D version 6 something you'd be interested in? Is it something you want to see? Are you happy where you are? I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget, I also do run giveaways every month to a subscriber on my channel. 50 euros of Sim Market vouchers to spend at Sim Market can be yours. All you have to be is a subscriber to my channel. Put your name or comment down in any P3D video, and at the end of the month when I go live, I draw a winner. And for everyone else, thank you very much for watching this. I shall see you once again in the future.